Hi everybody, this is Skip Elsheimer. Welcome to the AV Geeks Lunchtime Streaming Show, where we watch old 16mm films. That beginning was from the film that I showed on Wednesday called New Eyes and New Ears, which had that beautiful title sequence with the superimposed reels turning. So dynamic and wonderful. Anyways, I'm not live today because I have a cold. And I'm kind of feeling ugh. So I recorded this before things get worse, because that's usually what happens with my colds. But what we're going to watch today, we're going to watch films with rides. So the first one we're going to watch, and we've shown this before, but it's been 4 years, Joyride, which is this wonderful film about these two teenage boys that go joyriding. Then here's a Caterpillar film made by Centron called Everything Rides on the Roads. And then finally, a look to the future, circa the mid-70s, with The Ride of the Future. And watching this makes me think of the Simpsons episode where the monorail comes to town, because this features a monorail. Anyhow, thanks for watching. We should be back live on Monday. I hope you have a great weekend. If you like what you saw, hit the thumbs up, hit the like button, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. That's a great way to support us. And also watch other films that we've been uploading to the channel. We get little pennies or nickels every time you watch one of those with watching ads. So have a great weekend, and we will see you soon. Take care. Bye.
Man, we need a car. Hey, Tony!
Is that Julie?
See what I mean about a car?
Coming home now. Let's go. Throw it home. Let's go now. What do you say? What do you say? Come on now. Get the ball. Let it get there. All right. All right, Randall. We'll get the ball.
Look at that hot shot, Randall.
You seen his new car?
What a hot shot.
It's pretty nice. It's probably over in the parking lot. Want to go take a look at it?
You know, I used to know that guy when he was all right.
He's okay. He's not a bad guy. You want to go take a look at his car?
What a hot shot.
Come on, let's go take a look at his car.
Why do I want to take a look at his car?
Well, there it is. What do you think?
It's not so hot.
Well, it's not so bad either. Look at that, he left his keys in the car.
Man, what a dummy. Want to take it for a little spin?
Are you kidding me?
No, they'll be practicing for another 2 hours.
You're not serious.
Sure, we'll be back in 2 hours. Easy.
I don't know.
He won't find out. He'll never even know it's gone. Just check your watch and we'll be back in 2 hours. Come on.
All right.
All right, Randall. That's the way to go, man. Shoot him out. All right.
Hey, do you think your old man's ever gonna let you get a car?
I don't know. The only thing he ever talks to me about is when I'm going to get my next haircut.
Yeah, I remember when I was a kid. I used to have a barber named Mr. Collins. Hey, let's see how fast this thing will do 0 to 60. 3, 2, 1, 0. All right. All right. Oh, no.
You broke my heart, so I broke your jaw. Now your perfect smile is a perfect flaw.
Well, that's done. Let's go call up the girls.
Sounds good. I'll drive you over to the phone.
Hey, I called them last time. You call them this time.
Hey, we don't have much time. Come on, you call. You're better at that stuff than I am.
Yeah, you did blow it the last time.
I did not. You blew it.
Okay, if I blew it, then you call them.
Hey, man, I'm driving. You call.
Man.
Got my elevator shoes, got my sequin jumpsuit, got my Rasta hairdo. I'm gonna get duded up for you. I'm gonna get duded up for you. I'm gonna get duded up for you. Yeah!
Hi, guys. Nice car. Isn't that Randall's car?
Yeah, he loaned it to us.
You did?
Yeah, that Randall's all right.
You can't drive. You don't even have a license.
Drove here, didn't I?
If you get caught, you'll be in so much trouble.
What are they gonna do? Take away his library card? Come on, girls, let's go for a ride.
Well, what do you think? We have nothing else to do. Yeah, but they don't have a license, and I don't know.
Well, if you want to sit around and be bored all day, that's fine with us.
I feel so free today.
Well, how do you like the car, girls?
I don't know.
It's all right. Rides well. Yeah, but the windshield's cracked.
Probably got hit by a baseball.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's pretty nice.
Well, I've got a friend that's got a Porsche.
What's so great about a Porsche?
Hey, let's go for a ride up in the hills.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay.
Hey, I know a great place up there, too.
We've been just good friends, but who can see around the bend?
It's right over to the left.
What is it?
You'll see.
Hey, I don't want to go down there. There might be some snakes. No, there aren't. Come on.
Come on, let's go check it out.
What's down there anyway?
It's a great old car. Come on.
Let's go see it. Who wants to see a car?
Come on, let's go.
All right, stay here. Come on, you guys.
Come on.
Well, don't blame me when you get bitten by a snake. Sure you want to come?
Here it is. What do you think?
Hey,
Oh,
that's
wow.
neat.
Love it. Mickey? Tim? Val? Come on, you guys, this isn't funny.
Hey, Val. In about 5 minutes, Randall's gonna find out his car's gone.
Don't you know you have it? He said he loaned it to you.
Oh, we kind of took it.
Swell. Let's go.
Got a hot, hot date at 9. Gonna be there right on time. Trouble is day 55. If I'm gonna make up time, I gotta move down the line. Step on the pedal and make up time. I gotta step on the pedal and make up time.
Don't you think you're going a little fast?
Yeah, take it easy, Val.
Val, come on, slow down, please.
Oh, no.
Absolutely crazy, he's signaling.
Screaming 852. In a minute, gonna be there with you. Baby, it's a total ride.
Now you gotta stop.
We lost him. I don't see him anymore.
You gotta stop doing that.
We lost him, okay? Just take it easy, huh? No, I gotta put some distance.
No, stop it. Will you stop?
Val, we just took it easy, Dad.
Slow down. Oh, please stop. Stop fighting. Stop
place? A small town near the Great Smoky Mountains. The man, Zach Massey, remembering back more than 80 years.
And my father grew tobacco, and it had to go to Asheville to market, and it took him 2 days to go to Asheville. We got from from Fines Creek to Canton in 1 day, and then from Canton to Asheville the next day, and sold his tobacco the next day, and took 5 days to go from there to Asheville and back.
How far was that?
About 40 miles.
How fast can you do it today?
Well, you can go from here to Asheville in 35, 40 minutes.
A lot of difference.
A lot of difference.
Yes, there are a lot of differences between the America of today and the America of Zach Massey's boyhood. Within the span of a single lifetime, we have literally moved mountains to build the world's finest highway system, including the shorter, safer route he now takes to Asheville. And this road network, the backbone of our transportation system, has had a profound effect on all our lives. Whether we live in quiet little country towns or in the more heavily populated metropolitan areas. Our road system makes possible a bountiful array of choices, an almost limitless range of goods. As like a giant nationwide conveyor belt, our roadways provide swift, efficient passage for products from any one part of the country to another. America's tremendous productivity yields a rich and varied caravan, a continuous outpouring of goods. Goods the majority of people on Earth are still only hoping to attain. Our products roll off the assembly lines and keep right on rolling to waiting customers over a system whose importance we seldom consider. We are so accustomed to the big haulers which bring cattle and hogs to market now that we find it hard to believe how livestock traveled to the packing house in Zach Massey's youth.
Be a cattleman come through buying up cattle, you see, and hogs, and he had employed me one time to help him drive them. We had to drive them 18 miles to Clyde over these muddy roads. The hogs lay down in the road in the mud hole and water and get up and go on, you know. And so we'd get in there about 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I did all that for 50 cents. Then I had to walk back home that night.
Back then, as today, some goods and passengers traveled on America's navigable waterways, with the emphasis now being on bulk commodities such as grain, or on fuels such as coal and oil, along with ores and other raw materials. San Francisco may find it hard to relinquish its sentimental attachment to cable cars, but newer modes of mass transit are now serving thousands of Bay Area shoppers and commuters. And other metropolitan areas daily meet the challenge of transporting thousands over relatively short distances. On the longer runs, Amtrak and commuter trains concentrate on meeting passenger needs. However, most railroads today move freight, so that even when goods are carried by another means of transit, the relationship between highways and other forms of transportation is apparent. The package that goes on the railroad flat car is equally at home on the road. And highways provide the connection between manufacturing plants and their shipping facilities, or between a ship and customers on shore. Air freight is also likely to travel road lanes as well as air lanes. And air travelers, familiar with the fact that airports tend to be far out places, are also aware of the essential earthbound links in the chain. For while each is important in its own right, all are ultimately dependent upon our highway system. All must ultimately acknowledge the basic nature of the down-to-earth network through which the throbbing pulse, the lifeblood of commerce, largely flows. A part of that commerce ends up on our tables. And thanks to our highway system, we eat better than any other nation in the world, enjoying a variety of fresh, crisp produce which is usually only minutes away from the growing fields when it takes to the road. Produce which is rushed to consumers all across the country while it is still tasty and packed with nutrition.
Hey, good buddy, this here's Humpty Dumpty heading out for Big D. I want you to give me plenty of room. I got 250,000 eggs on board, and I don't want any crack-ups. 10-4?
Cold storage eggs once made the first meal of the day an unappetizing one. But not anymore. The hens of Arkansas now have a highway connection with the breakfast plates of America, and cold storage eggs are a thing of the past. And this intricate and vital network not only provides for the movement of goods, but also for delivery right to the door in many cases, no matter how out of the way a destination may be. It affords easy accessibility over almost any kind of terrain, and provides for convenient and dependable connections. In short, no other method of transportation quite compares with the one which gets almost anything, almost anywhere, as everything rides on the roads.
Like the man said, if you got that product, likely a trucker brought it to you.
If our highway system can be, and often is, taken for granted, it is seldom by the truckers. By the men such as George Miller, who know firsthand the effect which the improvements in roads during the last 10 or 20 years have had on them as individuals.
Saves a lot of money. I mean, saves fuel. I'll say, with these interstate highways, I'll say you save 40-gallon of fuel run between here and Chicago when I stop and start. Because you stop and start, it takes more fuel. But as you're rolling, you get your rolling speed, you're 55 miles an hour, with the federal law requires, you can just hold and set and hold that all day long. No problem. But the roads is good, the roads ain't bouncy, you don't break up your equipment. You don't tear up your tires, you don't bust your tires up. You don't tear your transmission up, your engine up. You just keep running steady speed all day long. For instance, I'm a meat man. When we bring the meat to your family in Philadelphia or New York area, you're getting fresh meat. You're not getting meat that's been laying around for a few days. When I bring it to the butcher, you have a fresh meat out of the wet. You used to leave on Saturdays to get there to get in Chicago on Monday morning. But now we can eat dinner at home on Sunday and be there for Monday morning. There's no comparison between the roads today and the old roads. The old roads were very dangerous. Half a place when he broke down in the olden days, you couldn't even get to the side. But today, you get on the side of these roads. They have cutoffs. They got some of the finest rest areas ever was on these roads today.
George Miller's experience has been gained from 45 years of making a living on the road.
Good morning, George.
Good morning. How you doing?
How come you're so late? You had a bad night last
bad
night?
night.
How come? What happened?
Well, I don't want to say.
Gonna have breakfast or just coffee?
No, just coffee.
Okay.
Thank you.
But most of us don't put in quite that much time getting acquainted with highway conditions nationwide. True, 2 out of 10 American families move every year, often to improve their standards of living. But it is unlikely that they give much credit to ease of travel for making possible a wider choice of career opportunities. It's even doubtful if, during vacations, many of us give any particular thought to the fact that our present roads take us to places where generations before us could only dream of going, to enjoy sights Americans once could only read about. or yearn to see. Most of the traveling most of us do is not to some dazzling vacation spot, however. Most of it is the day after day after day kind. The stop-and-go fundamentals of going to town to shop or driving back and forth to work. But if our road system has given us a choice of lifestyles, freeing many workers from living in the shadows of the factories, it has also been a two-way street. A two-way street headed toward everybody's all-time favorite destination. For whether we're driving a rental from the airport or using the family car all the way, it is always the highway which leads the way back home.
Are you hungry? Yeah, I got that turkey ready.
Well, how was the roads?
Oh, they were pretty good up until about 20 miles south of Cleveland there.
Society, as well as the family, responds to our human need to gather together, to care, and to share. And all of the big events, all of the choices society offers, are dependent on the highway system, both to gather the groups together and to disperse them afterward. Who we are, what we are, is interwoven with the roads that bring us together, with the memorable events of Americana happening here and now. A small town festival, a county fair, or a Mardi Gras. The differences are only those of degree. For we are social beings, and whatever our social problems, we move more often toward one another than away. Gathering together in celebration, seeking to rise above whatever interferes with a sense of community. But however high we may soar, wherever the winds of chance may carry us, when we come back to Earth, we will end up on whatever kind of road system we have had the foresight to provide for. And unfortunately, there may be some stormy going ahead. For anyone who thinks that our highway system can be taken for granted, that we're traveling on Easy Street, is dangerously close to being all wet. Both for our personal safety and for urgent economic reasons, we must be prepared to protect a tremendous asset. A road system in which we have a multi-billion-dollar investment. We must be willing to keep the good roads good and to make the bad roads better to keep America rolling. For in spite of all the demands we make on it, our road system is inadequate, nowhere near what it ought to be. 40 years ago, when we had slightly more than 3 million miles of highways, we had about 30 million vehicles. Today, we still have only about 3 million plus miles in the system, but we have more than 140 million vehicles. More than 4 times as much traffic on about the same number of miles of road. That's right. Most of our highways have been around for more than 50 years. And most of the bridges we cross were built in the era of the Great Depression. They are narrow, inadequate, and sometimes ready to fall in if they haven't already. Safety research studies indicate that 1 out of 5 highway accidents can be attributed to built-in death traps such as this. Built-in obstacles along the course of horse and buggy highways still in use in an automotive age. And where an old road cannot, or at least has not, been widened to meet today's traffic needs, there seems to be a stopper available for every bottleneck. Heirlooms can be lovely, unless you have to drive on them. The features of an antiquated road include, among other things, narrow or non-existent shoulders, which make changing a tire a death-defying act. Something only the bravest of good Samaritans would take part in. Watch out if you have any trouble on a road like this. More trouble may be right behind you. Some of the roads, which have been around for too long, rise and fall like a roller coaster, creating visibility and passing problems. Potential disaster lurks over the crest of every hill. The sinking feeling in the pit of your stomach, experienced at the bottom of some of the dips, is nothing compared to... Nothing compared to what sometimes awaits you at the top of a rise. We'd send our kids out on highways booby-trapped with killer corners and curving grades which are unsafe whatever the weather. Treacherous drop-offs lurk within inches of hurtling tires, waiting to snag a wheel, and sometimes causing skidding even when the road isn't icy. Rail crossings, as you may have noticed, can often be as rough as tank traps. Real axle busters which shuck off mufflers right and left, adding to the cost we incur from bad roads. And they do cost. Counting vehicle wear and tear and increased fuel consumption, a road like this costs nearly twice as much per mile. Nearly twice as much to drive as a safer, more comfortable, and usually more direct road, such as this one. But weather is the great destroyer. As freezing and thawing split surfaces asunder, use takes its toll too. as wheels fall like sledgehammers into potholes or gnaw at broken places. For the pounding, pounding, pounding that our roads take is not without its price. It should come as no surprise that our roads are wearing out 50% faster than road crews can repair them. And if we suffer from all the jouncing, the springs and shock absorbers are often faring worse. Little wonder that many of the cars still in operation look hardly better than the ones that are not. Little wonder that the screens around the junkyards cannot hide the fact that our $35 billion a year loss from accident damage is mounting ever higher, compounded by the pain and suffering of losses too great to measure. Even the interstates, safest of all our highways, are now upwards of 20 years old, some of them, and the older ones are in need of repair and resurfacing. The interstate system serves and benefits the total population, yet it makes up less than 2% of our total road mileage. Furthermore, until the system is completed, some parts of the interstates are only jumping off places, unfulfilled promises of the kinds of safety and usefulness we could be building into our highway network. Today, we get our funds for road maintenance and improvements by sharing the costs through a small tax per gallon on motor fuel. The idea is that the user foots the bill on a pay-as-you-go basis, except that now he doesn't foot the bill, not quite. Inflation is eating away at the funds available for both maintenance and improvements on primary and secondary roads alike, eating away at the funds necessary to protect our multi-billion-dollar investment. As a result, state and local governments, besieged by rising costs, are finding it more and more difficult to provide their share of the money needed to upgrade and maintain the system. The urgency of the situation is hammered home by the obvious futility of stopgap measures. We cannot patch our way out of the problem. We will either fix them now or fix them later, bedeviled by increasing numbers of injuries and accidents as more of the system crumbles. Fix them now or fix them later, burdened by the rapidly escalating costs of putting off what we know is necessary. For if substantial additional funds are not made available soon, if what needs to be done is not done, then our whole transportation network will be threatened. This is the loom on which the fabric of our lives is woven. This is the warp and the weft for the way we live. Whether we are commuting to work, conveying our lifeline of essential goods and services, bringing farm products into the distribution centers, or simply getting together to enjoy each other's company. Most of our human exchanges are dependent upon our highway system. Where we will be tomorrow depends upon it too, including the places where we will shop and the places where we will work. Everything rides on our ability to get wherever we need to be, at least as well as, and maybe better than we do today. Everything rides on our willingness to provide additional funds to upgrade and maintain an indispensable system. for the conclusion is inescapable. The way to a brighter tomorrow lies in our realization that we must attend to the roads today. For everything, including the course of our future, rides on the roads.
The family vacation, seeing America by car, a symbol of our modern way of life. We have become dependent upon the automobile. But as great a convenience as it is, the automobile has also helped to create some of America's most difficult problems. It uses huge quantities of energy. It is a contributor to environmental pollution. Its bulk clogs and congests our cities. Experts agree that to some of these problems, practical solutions must be found. And people are working on answers. Come, take a ride of the future. But this is not the future. This is the 70s, and you are riding PRT. PRT, Personal Rapid Transit. An alternative in urban transportation, PRT is at work here in its first practical application at Morgantown, West Virginia. Nestled among the picturesque hills on the winding Monongahela River, the city was tied up in its own traffic and parking problems. The greater Morgantown area, with a population of 50,000, had a traffic situation which was critical and typical of large urban areas. Here is the home of the state's century-old West Virginia University, with its 18,000 students and 6,000 faculty and staff. The university is located on separated campuses, about 2 miles apart. 6 of WVU's schools and colleges are located on the downtown campus. 6 other schools and colleges are on the Evansdale campus. And nearby, the medical center includes 4 more schools and the teaching hospital. The university is located between the city's central business district and a fast-growing residential area. There are only 2 through streets connecting these areas. A few years ago, during the morning and evening rush hours and during university class changes, people often spent as much as an hour in traffic. In its own right, Morgantown's problem was as frustrating as the traffic jams that strangle America's large metropolitan areas. Parking was a problem, too. Each day, there are 12,000 students and faculty trips between campuses, 5 peak traffic periods. WVU tried to solve this problem by operating an extensive bus system. The buses helped move people, but they also added to the traffic congestion. One solution to this urban problem is PRT, Personal Rapid Transit. Engineers throughout the world have been working to make urban rapid transit more convenient and therefore more popular, But to date, experiments have been mainly with mass transit, buses, subways, and trains. In the mid-1960s, an industrial engineer and transportation computer specialist at WVU saw the Morgantown area as a place to test a personal transportation system. That man was Dr. Sammy Elias.
The PRT is called personal because the cars are small, where a single passenger could ride alone, non-stop, to the destination he selected. System is sometimes described as a horizontal elevator. There are no drivers. It is totally controlled and monitored electronically. The PRT is highly adaptable to the different terrain, the weather conditions, and the volume demands.
About the time WVU became involved in the subject, the United States Department of Transportation initiated research, development, and demonstrations in new transit systems. The Urban Mass Transportation Administration became interested in Morgantown as a test site and funded the PRT project. The Boeing Aerospace Company of Seattle, Washington, was named the system manager, responsible for design and construction of the entire project, the guideways, the cars, the control systems. Arthur Hitzman, Boeing's Morgantown program manager.
The Morgantown project is the first demonstration project sponsored by the Urban Mass Transportation Administration. Its purpose is to evaluate the technological, operational, and economic feasibility of a personal rapid transit system in a real-world urban environment. We at Boeing expect that these systems will be utilized throughout the country in areas which have severe concentration of people and pollution problems, and will provide an alternate to the use of the automobile in these situations.
Development of the guideways and stations followed traditional methods of construction. Various footer designs were used to adapt to different physical requirements of the guideway and its location. Piping for a heating system was installed. During cold weather, a hot solution is pumped through these pipes to prevent rain or snow from freezing on the guideway. The steering rails are custom made to match the steering arms of each vehicle. Another distinctive aspect of the PRT construction is a series of groove-like slots which were cut into the guideway. They contain the PRT control wiring. These cables will provide constant contact between each of the vehicles and the controlling computer. The loops are embedded and sealed in the slots. These trays will shield the electrical wiring. Like many other components of the system, they are several times larger than the size presently needed. This will permit future expansion. This power rail will house the muscles of the system, electricity. And conduits along the side of the guideway will carry the system's high voltage power, which will operate the vehicles. Meanwhile, the PRT stations began to take shape. Their configuration falls into two types. This station has a traffic flow-through design, and this type has an end-of-the-line guideway pattern and platform location. The stations and guideways were designed by Frederick R. Harris of Stamford, Connecticut. Years before the development of the Morgantown PRT, research was underway at the Alden Self-Transit Systems Corporation at Bedford, Massachusetts. It was the Alden Star Car concept which Dr. Elias and his team found to be the most attractive during early feasibility studies. Alden, a subcontractor, developed the steering, power collection, and other vehicle features of the PRT. William Alden, president of Alden Corporation.
The PRT cabin was also fabricated here. We used one-piece molded fiberglass construction such as used with boats and cars. There's large windows to afford visibility for the passengers in the cabin. Another important contribution that Alden made to the Morgantown system was the steering and switching mechanisms in each vehicle. The PRT vehicles are guided by wheels extending from the sides of the vehicle to the guideway walls. This onboard steering is unique in that it does not require movement of the guideway itself, as trains do, permitting much closer, safe spacing between cars.
World attention was quickly focused on the Morgantown PRT project and West Virginia University.
John A. Wolf and West Virginia Gouverneur Archibald Moore waren unter den Würdenträgern, die an der
Collinoso come Roma o San Francesco ha iniziato costruzione
PRT, le premier système de transport personnalisé rapide dans une petite ville des
break ground today at West Virginia University for the nation's first automated rapid transit system.
政府関係者はウェストバージニア州モーガンタウンに集まり、自動車に代わり
The PRT system has more than 45 vehicles operating at speeds up to 30 miles an hour on 5.4 single-lane miles of guideway. This station, in the heart of Morgantown, is the best example of the ability of PRT to adapt to an urban environment. The guideway laces around existing structures with a minimum use of ground space. It is supported from relatively small caisson bases. The guideway splits as it approaches the station and has 4 loading positions on each side of the building. One of the important characteristics of PRT is its potential for expansion. Additional spurs can easily be added, so PRT can branch out to other areas of the community. Access to the PRT system is by use of a coded pass card, which provides unlimited use for the holder. Occasional riders may use single magnetic cards. The busiest terminal on the downtown campus shows the distinctive offline nature of PRT stations. By going under the station, a car may bypass this station without slowing down. Or a car can enter the station to pick up or discharge passengers and then continue in its original direction. Or it may loop through the station and completely reverse its direction. Perhaps the most unique aspect of the PRT system is its total computer control of each car, movement, speed, and spacing. Each station has a computer which monitors and determines all of the vehicle flow in and out of that station. Incoming cars are guided to precision stops at a vacant bay on the station platform, and the doors are opened by the computer to permit passengers to exit and enter. Each station is linked to the central computer, where operators are on duty around the clock. They have visual displays which give them instant monitoring of the entire PRT system. PRT is termed fail-safe. If a problem should occur anywhere, the computer will automatically bring the total system to a safe operating condition. Then, by a series of monitoring devices, the control room operator is informed of the problem and the computer will print out corrective instructions. Each PRT vehicle is a complex machine with its steering, braking, control, and other subsystems. The power arms extend and retract as required to meet the configuration of the guideway. Servicing of the vehicles is performed by trained technicians in this fully equipped maintenance area. Also here is a test facility, complete with its own computer, and a storage yard. The cars not in use are routed here by the central computer to be parked during non-peak periods.
Effective maintenance is one of the most important aspects of an automated transit system. Here in this PRT facility, each car receives the attention required to assure a smooth running and reliable system. But most important, the PRT design combines the element of public transportation and the convenience of the personal transit.
The personal rapid transit concept has proved itself here in Morgantown, and PRT may well become the forerunner of similar projects around the world. West Virginia University is becoming a transportation research center, attracting experts in the field from all over the world. This system has become a transportation laboratory where innovations can be tested in a controlled environment. Personal rapid transit is one part of the answer to the distressing snarls of traffic which choke so many of our communities and seriously impair the lifestyle quality of civilization. Personal rapid transit, a ride of the future.